Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Now, I normally just do a pre-recorded video for this because not a lot of my crew members actually watch this show. But hey, at the end of the day, I was literally annoyed to the highest degree with this latest episode. If you guys have listened to my videos, you already know that this whole show, as far as them constantly arguing and complaining about the craziest things, it already annoys me. But in this situation, I was disturbed because of how this gossip nonsense and this BS could have led to a very dangerous game. And honestly, I don't know if it could or could not, but we're going to talk about it. Thank you, Nene. That's my girl. Always here to support. I appreciate you while you said you're doing your cardio. But yeah, this actually disturbed me, and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you a basic rundown of what happened in the episode and give you my take on it, my opinion on the situation. So make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. And for those who may be new, by all means, just say hello. You know, we're friendly over here. It's all positive energy. But with that being said, I am going to talk about Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, Season 2, Episode 8, Gossip Girls. And honestly, they should have called it something else because this is just beyond Gossip Girl. But anywho, we start off with where we left off last episode. Bria literally telling Simon it's over. I personally think she always tells Simon it's over when she doesn't get her way and she can't control him. That is her way of trying to bring him back in my opinion. I'm over Bria and the way that she treats people and talks to people. I know my last video, somebody was like, oh my gosh, you call Bria a bitch. I don't think she's a bitch. I think she's a diva. To me, they're one and the same. I know some of y'all got Beyonce thinking that a diva is a female version of a hustler. No, she's a bitch. Bria at this point, I cannot rock with her. She is real quick to talk about people. She's real quick to be inappropriate with her tone with people. She's bratty. She's just, to me, she's just a top of the line bitch at this point. That's what she is. Now, there are ways that you can say bitch in a fun way, and then there are ways when you feel like someone needs to be called a bitch. And right now, that's Bria. Unless she shows me something different, she's a bitch. And it's getting worse as the episodes go on. But again, y'all can give me y'all opinion on it. Hey, Lansky, what's up? So after that, she's saying that Simon is selfish. Really, Bria? Simon is selfish? She also says that Simon doesn't respect her. Really, Bria? Then she claims her feelings should be put on a pedestal because she does that for him. Bria, I have not seen any of that towards anyone in the house, including your own man. So I find it interesting that you said he doesn't respect you, he's selfish, yet all of these things, when I really look at it, you're describing yourself. Okay, now, at the end of the day, was Simon's flamingo situation inappropriate? Yes, it was. It looked like it was a black tie affair. However, a black tie affair with drinking and everything else and twerking and all of that stuff going on, it ain't that much of a black tie affair to a certain extent. Just because you dress up doesn't mean it's really a elegant black tie affair. I feel like at the point when he did that, everyone was loose, cutting up, and doing their thing. Was it inappropriate for the occasion? Yeah. But what do you expect? He doesn't understand our culture here. He didn't probably understand to the extent he's probably thinking, hey, everybody's turning up, having fun. Let me have fun too, and get people laughing and having a good time. This man is a white man from Germany. I just don't think Bria should expect that he really understands what was going on. Now, she claims she told him, don't bring it down, don't do anything crazy. But we're going to find out that while Bria's telling Simon not to do that, Bria has embarrassed the hell out of Simon at his own event, but we're going to get to that later. So at that point, I really don't think that Simon did it intentionally to embarrass Bria. But everything that Bria can't control, she thinks is an embarrassment, and she thinks someone's not respecting her, in my opinion. Bria goes and cries to Amir. I didn't see any tears, but I guess she's crying. She's saying her relationship is a disaster. And Amir is drunk, and so is Simon. And Amir is trying to talk to Bria, and Simon comes in. Both of these men are drunk. And at that point, I don't know why Bria thought she can have a serious conversation with Simon. But at that point, Simon apologizes, but he was just like, well, look, I just won't come back. And she's like, okay, fine. He's drunk. You're not going to sit up there and have a real relationship with him until he sobers up. But at that point, she calls her mom. And she says that she is done with Simon and she wants him to leave. And she has his credit card. She's going to book him a hotel and he's done. And her mom has more sense. And she's like, I think you're being a little extreme. He literally flew all the way out there from Germany to see you. Like, you're doing too much. So even her mom had to check her. She was like, fine, but the relationship is over. I just don't understand how, well, actually, I do understand. Bria is a beautiful girl. Like, look, like makeup, hair, even the outfit. She slayed this confessional. Beautiful girl, but a ugly spirit. And my thing is, we still have not tapped into why Bria is the way that she is. Is she a brat because she was just spoiled rotten and always got her way? Or there's something else going on? I need to really tap into Bria's past and why she is the way she is for me to excuse her for the BS. Like, honestly, because at this point, I'm kind of over it. So with that being said, moving on. Child, this is where the drama begins. First things first, they had the audacity, okay, to leave that nasty ass kitchen. They had that party the night before. They had pizza boxes. They had all of this stuff like in the kitchen, all over the kitchen, and left it there during the night. I was like, y'all are some nasty, trifling ass people. But moving on. Summer calls her Nana about her surgery, and she seems to be really concerned about her grandmother. And I'm like, at this point, Summer, just go. If the money is not worth it, if your heart right now is to be with your grandmother because she's about to have surgery, go. But we're here with Bria, Noelle, Shanice, and Natalie. And for those who don't watch the show, Natalie is the white girl, okay? And so Bria talks about how at her event, like at Simon's events, she's very respectful at his events. But it seems like ever since Simon found out he could only stay 3 days, he's been losing his mind and acting crazy since then. Simon has been acting crazy since last season. Anytime Simon gets drunk, you can expect him to start dancing on the kitchen table. You can expect him to literally take his whole body fully clothed, shoes and all, and jump in a pool. That's who Simon is. So for her to say he's been acting completely crazy, I'm seeing the same Simon that we saw last season, but moving on. So at that point, she says at his events, though, she doesn't act like that. Now, with that being said, interesting enough, they talk about how everybody was drunk last night. Hey, Teef, I'm glad you here because we getting into this episode. I definitely want to know what you think about it. So they talk about how everybody was drunk last night. And Shanice says she pretty much blacked out. Natalie randomly, her messy ass, says, oh yeah, Nick brought you some ginger ale last night. And have you bonded with Tasia, which is Nick's girlfriend? Have you bonded with Tasia since she's been here? And Shanice is like, no, I haven't. But, she's, in my room. She's staying in my room. And so Natalie said, well, Tasia last night, she went upstairs and was ready for bed, and Nick was still downstairs getting into some stuff, implying that he was getting into some things. And I'm like, could it be that because he was the host, he's still down there with people who are still there, maybe telling them to have a good night or whatever the case may be? But that wasn't Natalie's intention. She wanted to be a messy mofo, okay? A complete messy mofo. Bria says, well, I don't want to get into people's relationships. You shouldn't get into people's relationship when your own relationship is effed up. But she still decides to get into their relationship. And she said, I mean, Nick didn't tell us about Tasia last year. And, you know, the way that he acts or whatever the case may be, he's flirty. And then Noelle says, I would like to know Tasia's perspective, especially how her man acted like less than 48 hours ago. And you can tell he wants to get wild. Now, again, here's my thing. We can only go by what we see on the show, okay? We can only go by what we have seen on the show. Now, based on what I have seen on this show, Noelle says, if my man puts his hand around the breast area or around the hip area, I have a problem with it. Okay. Now I'm looking at this picture. Mind you, they supposed to be straight up ATL aliens all day, every day during the Freaknik. This is the party during the Freaknik. So with that, I'm looking at this picture. I don't see anything wrong with this picture. I really don't. I don't see anything wrong with this picture. I don't see anything inappropriate with this picture. But this is the picture they tried to show as it being a little, I guess, iffy and touchy and handsy, these key words that they keep on using. So with that, Natalie says, well, maybe, if you guys want to talk to her, I can talk to her, and says that the girls have something to tell you. She's trying to imply that she wants to say something to Tasia. All of the girls back up at that point. Noelle is saying, well, I didn't really see certain things. Shanice is just quiet. Then you have Bria's like, I don't feel like I should say anything. Okay. So even if it was passive aggressive, all of them in their passive aggressive way pretty much backed off the topic. Okay. That should have given that scallywag Natalie the hint to back the hell off. But that wasn't her goal with her insecure ass. That wasn't a goal. So at that point, Natalie goes upstairs and tells Amir about what her and the girls were talking about, and how she says the girls feel like Tasia should know how Nick acts when she's not around. Did the girls say that, or did you? Natalie? Who actually said it? And Amir, being the weak fool that he is, the simp that he is, damn near encourages Natalie to say something to Tasia. Instead of saying, you need to mind your own business, that is between them. And if he needs to talk to Tasia and tell her something, that's on him, not on us. But of course, being the weak link that he is, he's like, okay, well, don't blindside her, just, tell her whatever the case may be. I really hope that we see all of them at the reunion, including Natalie. I really hope so. Now, they have gotten into their little beefs and their tit for tats since this show started. But to me, this took it to a whole nother level, and I'll tell you why. But I'm going to keep moving forward. So with that, I'm sorry, Teef. I'm keep talking because I don't want to get sidetracked. I'm going to see what you say in a minute. We have Simon and we have Bria. They stay at the house while everybody else goes out. Simon said, you kind of really hurt my feelings how you were so quick to end our relationship like that. And immediately Bria's like, cut the shit. And I'm just like, can you ever stay in your feminine energy? Sorry, y'all. Can you ever stay in your lady energy? Because I can't say feminine right now, I guess, because I'm tired. Stay in your lady energy. Be soft for once. Like, just be soft, be a lady. So she's like, cut the shit. So we find out Simon says, while you talking about this event that I ruined, a black tie affair for Nick's line brother, you came to my event acting like a damn fool at my event. And so he said, you got upset within 5 minutes, said you don't F with anyone here, left and stayed in the car all night. Sounds just like Bria, doesn't it? Doesn't it? And so Bria, at that point, of course, not apologizing for it. She makes an excuse on why she doesn't. Now let her tell it. She says Simon put her in a dangerous situation because the people around her were racist, and him being from Germany and also being white, he is blind to racism. Okay. Well, if that's the case, why are you with him? You decided to get into an interracial relationship. And you also decided to be with a man from another country that doesn't have the racial atmosphere that we have here in the US. Okay. Our roots here, as far as racism, are like deeply rooted. I don't really know Germany's situation, but considering the fact that you have two situations, he doesn't understand the culture here. He doesn't understand, being black, but you decided to be with this man. You decided to be with him. Then she claims that Simon's cousin, said that she didn't know that Simon liked black women. I guess that's what she was trying to imply, black women, and how there was a girl who disrespected her in the club and how she had to pretty much blow up and fight the girl. And, Simon was never there to protect her. Okay. And look, I understand racism. I am a black woman in America. I get racism. I understand it all the time. The microaggressions, all of that. However, we're talking about Bria here. Okay. Bria, where no matter if someone is black or white, she will pop off and have a smart mouth in a heartbeat and expect for people to deal with it. Okay. I just don't know. I think I would need to be a fly on the wall to see if really Bria went through what she claimed she went through. Because she literally goes from 1 to 1 million and puts extras on everything. And she never takes accountability for herself. So I would have to know, because I have plenty of friends who have visited other countries, especially Germany, and they haven't had that issue. But not saying there aren't any races in Germany. I'm just saying we dealing with Bria. That's what I'm saying. What are you guys saying? Hey, Shayla. I think Germans know a little bit. You know what I mean? Right. So, this is Bria, though. Bria is a diva, a brat. Like I said, she's bitchy. She literally will talk to people any kind of way, expect for them to deal with it. But the moment you give her some of the same energy, she's telling people to watch their tone, just like in this actual episode. So I don't necessarily know if I can just automatically say, yeah, that's what Bria went through. Unfortunately, when you cry wolf all the time and you act the way that you act all the time, sometimes even me, from black woman to black woman, I'm going to have to side eye you to see if that's what really happened or was there extra stuff that you are putting on it. Sorry, that's the way I feel until Bria shows me something different. All right. So at that point, she's claiming, all the racism or whatever the case may be. And at the same time, after all of that, and she says she doesn't feel protected by Simon. And she says this and she says that. She still says at the end, we can work this out and we can be together. Well, if you claim he doesn't protect you from racism, if you claim he doesn't protect you, period, how the hell is it going to get any better? Which is why at this point I'm saying, do you say all of this to try to control him and try to get him right up under you to pretty much do whatever the hell you want him to do? Because at a certain point, if this man is not protecting me from racism and we're already dealing with an interracial relationship situation, I'm going to assume it's not going to get any better. Okay. But apparently they're going to try to work it out. All right. So I think it's a case. Yeah, it is a case by case scenario. I think it is a case by case scenario. But again, you watch this show, bro. We're talking about Bria here. We talking about Bria here, who literally can pop off at any moment. I need Bria to go visit the hood just one time. I need for her to go visit the hood. I need for her to go to the hood and just that one time. I want her to tell somebody in the hood to watch their tongue. I really do. I really do. A whole Bratz doll. So, yeah. So they're out eating. And Natalie across the table says to Tasia, mouthing it, I need to talk to you. Then she decides to go over, okay, in front of Nick and to Tasia. First of all, she started playing in Tasia's hair. Girl, I can't stand that type of shit. I don't know about y'all, but there is something about, no. Don't start playing in my hair, and on top of that, you about to be messy on top of that. She starts playing in Tasia's hair, and she's like, I would like to talk to you. And Tasia immediately knows it's about to be some shit, okay? They pulled that nonsense on her last season as well. So Tasia's like, about what? She was like, well, you know, I want to keep you in a loop before something comes to your attention. And my whole thing is, you the only one who want to bring it to her attention. And again, Tasia, her face is like, no, I smell BS. And she's like, no, I'm good. I'm about to leave anyways. I'm about to leave right now. Tasia doesn't engage in the BS. And I'm proud that she didn't engage in that. She was like, absolutely not. Nick is looking like, what the F is going on? At that point, Tasia's like, I'm ready to go. She has to go to the airport anyways. Nick takes her to the airport. In the process of Nick taking her to the airport, he texts Natalie and is like, what the F is going on? Okay. And he was like, Tasia didn't like that at all. And at that point, she says, well, people are saying that you're touchy. And he's like, who? She says, Bria, Noel, and Shanice told me that. Oh, bitch. Oh, bitch. I do not condone violence. But that would have been a moment that her ass would have got mollywopped. She purposely baited those girls. She started the whole conversation. And if y'all look at the way she was looking all of those times, she had a smirk on her face. She's a messy, trifling heifer. I don't care. That's the way I feel about the situation. So she pretty much name drops at that point. And so Nick is heated. And rightfully so. He is upset about the situation. So he's talking to Preston. And he's like, Preston, like, look, I know you came to me about what Jordan and Summer said, which, by the way, in my opinion, I still thought that was effed up too, because nobody is bold enough to go to the person directly. They all want to spread this stuff and talk about it to other people, and they don't ever want to bring it to Nick. He said, look, I know you told me about the Jordan and Summer situation, and I thought we resolved that because me and them are really cool. But then now all of a sudden, I'm touchy with Bria, Noel, and Shanice. And so Preston is like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? Like, who told you that? And he said, you know, why can't people just go to people directly? Because they passive-aggressive punks. That's why. They passive-aggressive punks. That's just what it is. And so at that point, Nick is ready to go. He went from pretty boy Noop to gangster Noop, okay? Just like that. He was not playing with them. And so at that point, the first person he goes to, now look at this damn picture right here. Look at Natalie in the background. Look at her. Look at her sneaky ass, okay? So at that point, he confronts Noel first. And he's like, so apparently I'm getting touchy with you, whatever the case may be. Like, no, I need to speak to all three of y'all. And even he tells Simon, when Simon apologizes to him about the flamingo situation, he said, you know, I ain't tripping, I ain't cool, but I need to speak to your girl, though. I need to speak to your girl. She need to come downstairs. So Noel is like, look, I didn't say you made me feel uncomfortable. I didn't say that. And immediately she's trying to leave to get away from the heat and trying to call Bria and Shanice downstairs. So in the process, in the confessional, she said they probably should have never included Natalie in the conversation. And, because of course, Natalie, of course, was stirring the pot. But my thing is, I understand that they say on reality shows, when you're on a reality show, sometimes you forget that the cameras are there. But they were just reckless. All of them were reckless, in my opinion. And I'll explain. Shanice didn't really say, I guess, much. But then again, this is just, all of them are reckless. But she also says, well, Nick, if it ain't true, why are you so mad? I'll tell you why he's mad, Noel. Y'all effing with his character. And I don't know about y'all, but when you start hearing words like touchy, handsy, it goes beyond you guys just simply saying he's flirting with other women. In HR circumstances, that can allude to a lot of other stuff, like SA. This man has a career. He is a college-educated man. He don't need that type of damn reputation. You know what I mean? Like, yes, that's his character that you're affecting. I don't even think it goes beyond. I think, honestly, if they just kept saying the words flirt, he's flirting, I don't think he would have tripped off of that. But touchy and handsy, and to continue to say that, yeah, I can see why he's pissed off. And I would have been pissed off too. You know what I'm saying? It's the nerve for me. Yeah. Exactly. Needs to have several seats in that empty stadium. They just wanted to. Do you understand, bro? T, do you understand how they go back and forth with him? And when they sit up there and don't want to deal with him, all of a sudden he's touchy and handsy. Shanice shouldn't have had nothing to say. Right. Natalie should have never been the one to bring it up, and Amir was messy for encouraging her. Exactly. So at that point, Shanice comes downstairs and Bria comes downstairs, and he confronts Shanice. And Shanice is like, I never said you touched me. I never said touchy. I said that you have wandering eyes. Well, if I was attracted to the opposite sex, because Nick is not a gay man, Nick likes women. And if a woman, even if it's not your woman, is butt naked, booger naked, with her itty bitty titties all up in your face and sitting up there trying to twerk with her little butt all up in your face right next to you, he's a man. He gonna look. He's gonna look. It's not like there was no clapping of the butt or anything like that. That did not occur. He was looking, just like men go to, you know what I'm saying, the club, the P Valley type of club, and they look also. Look, but don't touch. He's a man. And I don't understand how you guys claim he has wandering eyes when you guys are constantly around there with thongs up your butt and being exposed left and right. What do you think he's going to do? He's gonna look. Now, if Tasia was there and he was looking while you guys were doing that, yes, that's disrespectful, but he is a man. I'm confused on where all of this is coming from. And the fact that this is on national TV, you know what I'm saying? Like on national TV, HR don't play. Especially if you work for an at-will company. Any little thing can get you let go. Any little thing. So I can understand his frustration in this situation. That's why I said I think it goes beyond them trying to say he's flirty. They were saying he's touchy and he's handsy. Okay? That was the issue. All right? So then literally all of them gaslighting, backpedaling, all of that stuff. They was uncomfortable because they know that was an inappropriate conversation for them to have. They didn't like the fact that it got back to him, but guess the hell what though? You guys are on national TV. It was going to get back to him anyways. Real talk when you really think about it. That's why I say they were all reckless in the situation. This could ruin this man's reputation. And granted, if he sat up there and turned around and did something to like that to y'all, if he said something implying certain things like that to you, oh, he would have been the worst man on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would be the worst man on the planet. So at that point, he's talking, he's like, y'all talking about I'm getting touchy, handsy, or whatever the case may be. And Noelle is saying, look, someone said that they needed to bring it to Tasia's attention. And that's when this heifer is like, I'm the one who said that because Tasia is my friend. Tasia is not your friend. Tasia don't even know you like that. Because if Tasia knew you like that and she considered you a friend, she would have had no problem talking to you. 1. 2, also, if she was really your friend, you don't have text message. If you really felt that was something she needed to know, you didn't have a text. You couldn't text her. You couldn't pull her to the side, take off them freaking, you know what I'm saying, microphones off your back and tell her what's going on. You're full of shit. Friend my ass. Who need friends like you? So she's like, I'm the one who said that. Amir's punk ass come into the picture. Okay. And he's like, all they're doing is girl code. They're just doing girl code. No, this is beyond girl code. This is beyond girl code. Nick couldn't even respond to Amir because he knew Amir was full of shit. Okay. He knew Amir was full of shit. And so Preston chimes in and he's like, what was the final straw that brought? Well, he was saying what was the final straw, and that's when Noelle said Natalie felt the need to bring something up. And even Preston's face was like, you dirty bitch. Like, you being so messy coming in here, your insecure ass, you're being messy, trying to stir up stuff between everybody in the house. So honestly, Jordan chimes in and says, well, we've had this discussion before. And finally, F-boy, whatever, I forgot his name at this point because Alex finally defends his frat brother. And he was like, y'all always riding on Nick. But if you really felt a certain way, why don't you go to him? And so at that point, I was like, well, finally, you protect your frat brother because a couple episodes ago, you threw him under the bus. So then at that point, this is where Bria ass chimes in. And this is why I say, until Bria can tell me why she is the way she is, as far as I see it, she is a complete turnoff at this point. Complete turnoff. She's like, well, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about him, you know what I'm saying, touchy with me or whatever. And he said, you sure? Because I heard you said that too. And she was like, I didn't say that. They do a flashback on, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that she said. Bria, of course, can't take accountability for anything. She act like she didn't say nothing. And so at that point, Bria is playing victim. And Nick is like, look, you giving your explanation. You want to bring Shanice and other people in a situation. Let's focus on you, not on them. Of course, when people hold Bria accountable, now it's, you're not going to talk to me like that. Watch your tone. You're not going to talk to me like that. Watch your tone. And he was like, this is my character, Bria. Like, do you not get what you're trying to imply and what you're saying? And she's like, get it out. Get it out. Just get it out then. Oh, girl, I need for you to go to the hood with that same mentality. I don't know where Bria is from, who she's been around. To me, she has gotten away with it for so long, but because there were people there who allowed her to get away with it. She just need one girl from the hood. Bop, 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 bop. One girl from the hood to let her know that she ain't the one. Because her mouth is so reckless. And this is why I say in this situation, what we have here to me are some of these girls are miserable as hell, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of these girls were showing how they was miserable heifers who either want a man, have an issue with their man, insecure because their man is thinking that Jordan passed by Natalie. Like, all of these girls have so many other things that they need to focus on and got the audacity to sit up there and start nonsense with Nick. And from what I am seeing, as much as I call him a dork and as much as I call him a Urkel, what I have seen and Bria saying that Nick was flirting with her, her version of flirting is when she was trying to twerk her little butt and he was like, wait, not the ass though, or something like that, that pretty much he didn't say throw it back. She wasn't dancing on him. So I'm like, where are you guys getting this from what we are seeing that he is just completely doing things that are uncomfortable. Even with Jordan, him touching Jordan's shoulder or coming up to her. I think that's her thing that she feels uncomfortable because maybe of her past experiences, but don't put that on Nick. And then be a woman about it and tell Nick straight up. You didn't tell him straight up. You told Preston, and Preston had to say something to him for him to come to you. It's cowardly shit. It's cowardly shit. So this is why I said I'm over it. I'm over it. What is Nick to do? Let me see what you're saying. Shanice is constantly showing. Exactly. Exactly. Every 2 minutes y'all in the pool. This is why single and couple mixed trips don't work, right? Shanice is exactly. And Noelle, she always sitting up there with the most skimpiest, you know what I'm saying, bathing suits on. And look, at the end of the day, don't get me wrong, they definitely keep fit. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not knocking it. Like I said, both of them, a lot of those girls, they keep themselves together. But you can't sit up there and tell a man he got wandering eyes while you literally twerking all up in his face. How does that even make sense? It just doesn't make any sense. Right, Right had gave her a heads up before she arrived. Right. That's what I'm like, miss me with this nonsense. Bria just wanted him to be her cuddle buddy girl by cuddle comes with exactly. It reminds me of the situation with Giselle and Kansas' husband. Yeah, I don't know that story. I don't follow that show, but I'm sure other people would agree for those who actually watched the show. So at that point, the episode goes off, but I honestly, this triggered me, you guys, because I don't think, and I understand that people make the choice to get on reality TV, but you also have to be responsible with what you say. I don't know about y'all, but to me, in any situation, saying handsy and touchy and constantly saying it could imply other things. This man has a career. You know what I mean? He has a career. And hell, truth be told, in certain dynamics, saying flirty can get, you know what I'm saying, you in trouble too. But y'all implies that he's too touchy and handsy. That man can get ruined behind that. I don't know if I'm being extra, but he can't. Like HR don't play those games. They really don't. Sleep support, right? Didn't she add that? Thank you, Shayla. Didn't she say, Nick, would you be my sleep support? Wasn't it Nick that she spoke to about that? Or was it Alex? She said sleep support to someone, and I feel like it was Nick. So you can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying? You can't have it both ways. You literally have to sit up there and pick, and you got to pick what side you're on. Either he's doing too much or he's not doing too much. But you can't, especially when you frustrated with your own life and your own relationship, chime in thinking that because of the stuff that you say doesn't have consequences. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people on this show. They're reckless with their mouths and they haven't learned that there's consequences that comes to the shit that you say and what comes out of your mouth. See, it was Nick. It was Nick. Sleep support. Now, if he would have said, yeah, I'll be sleep support, then you would have been like, see, you're flirting with me. So it was like you trying to bait this man. And because this man has looked and even said no to sleep support, now all of a sudden he's flirting with you when he pretty much implied you got a small butt, you got a small junk in the trunk. So all of this twerking ain't really working. To me, that's what he was implying. Like, why are you trying to throw your ass back when you ain't really got an ass to begin with? So was that flirting? or because you were offended because you know you got a little butt, now you want to claim that he's doing something that he wasn't doing. Unless the reunion shows more footage that shows more details of Nick doing inappropriate things, I'm with Nick on this situation. I am. I'm over these women. They already seem very catty, very immature, even at their ages, still very catty, very immature. Because the problem is, all of them have some type of career. All of them do. And even in your late 20s, your early 30s, you don't want anybody effing with your career. You don't. And I really don't know if they thought about it nor cared what the consequences are by constantly implying that Nick is touchy and handsy. It's not cool. It's not cool. And it really rubbed me the wrong way where I was just like, wow. Even Tasia, before she left, was like, I really hate that I have to leave you here. Because I think she knows how they are when it comes to Nick. I think she knows that. And okay, look, we're not going to act like Nick did not tell the girls last year that he had a girlfriend. He didn't do that. Okay, fine. But it's almost like since then, they have had something against him since that. I don't know if it's just me, but in my opinion, since he, I guess, didn't tell them up front that he had a girl, they have been riding his ass since then. They won't leave it alone. But the thing is, it's not your business. It's Nick and it's Tasia's business. And if Tasia is okay with it and they work it out, who the hell are y'all to interfere? Who are y'all to interfere? So that was the end of the episode. Bria talking about some watch your freaking tone and Nick getting upset with her. The next episode, we see that Bria, who's not watching her tone, goes after Amir to, I guess, I'm assuming, check Natalie. And Amir gets upset and screams back at her, telling her to calm down. Bria is out of control. There you go. So it's not just me. It seems like they have truly been after his ass since then. Like, oh, you weren't free meat, so to speak. You were taken. You didn't want to tell us. Okay, we got you. So now we're gonna try to stir the pot as much as possible. But it's going too far. It's going way too far at this point. Because if again, HR, especially in this economy, will find any reason, write you up, let you go. I could see why Nick was upset. Because he said when he was talking to Bria at the end, this is my character. I get it. Your reputation and character, a lot of times that's really all you have. Your word, your integrity, your moral compass, like all of that. Because they possibly would have allowed his advances if he wasn't in a relationship at the time. Right. And I think that's what it's really all about. That at the end of the day, he wasn't free meat. And they're upset with that. And they won't let it go. On top of the fact that, let's be very honest, and I've said this before, Tasia is a beautiful girl. Let's get back to it. Tasia's a beautiful girl. She's gorgeous. And you can tell she ain't really got a lot of makeup on. She don't even look like she rocking even like fake lashes. She just looks like a very natural, pretty girl. And that can also be an issue as well. Now, all of those girls in the house, they are, you know what I'm saying, pretty, but a lot of them, they be plastering that makeup on like no other. And sorry to break it to you, Natalie, while you thinking you about to be a plant and stir up some drama, your ass won't be on this show. I'll tell you that much. You will not be on this show no matter what you do. Okay? You're not welcome on this show. You're just not. I said what the hell I said. You're not welcome on this show. You sit up there. This is your first time. This is not, you weren't on season 1. Your first time on this show and you cause this type of drama. Because most of the other drama they've gotten into is petty drama they could get over and they have gotten over. This situation, you are truly affecting someone's character. You are definitely stirring up a pot. Yo ass saying, well, I don't want to see her, period. Well, I think the next episode is the finale, and then we have the reunion. I think the reunion is going to be more exciting than the whole season. We got a lot to talk about during the reunion. Depending on how juicy that reunion is, I may have to do a live for that reunion, because I feel like it's definitely going to be some issues. Tasia is very pretty. She's very pretty. They're all jealous of her. She don't do Party City weddings. And you know what I'm saying, Tasia, and like, Nick said, they're all pretty, but does she have that something extra? And he says she has that something extra. She seems very, very nice. She's very pretty. She seems to be accomplished. Well, I'm assuming what she does. So it's just like, and again, even let's just say if we find out Nick was doing inappropriate things. Sometimes you just need to let go and let God and let people figure it out on their own. You know how they say that, don't be the messenger, because they the messenger. Like, leave it alone. Natalie trying to land a spot for that. She trying to, but she definitely has failed. Honestly, I think if Natalie is on next season, they gonna get a lot of those people ain't gonna come back and watch the season. They're just not. I think all this contrived drama is purposely for the reunion. Well, apparently they didn't know by when they was filming this if there was going to be a reunion. They didn't even know. Now, they could have been editing this as the, season went along, but I mean, at the end of the day, there's a couple things there. Even without this drama, there were other things that people could easily talk about. But this honestly could create a lot of division. It could. Nick could not really want to deal with those girls at all. Like, at this point, if you're accusing that type of stuff of me, I don't even want to hang around y'all. When y'all start getting into y'all little two pieces, I'm going up the room. Like, I could see him to the point where he's like, I just don't want to be around you guys. Like, I'm uncomfortable at this point because of what you guys are accusing me of. Just so we can have topics to discuss. You don't think we had a good amount of topics to discuss before this, though? I feel like there was a couple things that we could have discussed. We could discuss Jordan. We damn sure can discuss Bria. We can discuss Jasmine. Like, you know what I mean? We could discuss a lot of stuff. Nick's gonna stroll along. Yeah, I feel like, hey, I would not be mad at Nick if he decides this is gonna be his last season. Because if I'm having a good time and it's going to be misconstrued as me being touchy, handsy, or flirty, and y'all keep using those type of words, yeah, I may have to bounce. So we'll see who's actually going to come next season, if they have another season. But I just didn't like this. I did not like this. And then what's so crazy is this is how conniving Natalie is. She walks around petting freaking Tasia's hair like she a freaking chia pet or some doll or something. And then after she does that in front of Nick and says all of that, she walks back to where she is with Amir and she touches Nick's shoulder like it's all love, it's all good. Like, how do you sit up there and stir up some drama in front of Nick and with his girl and then try to make it seem like everything is all good by touching him when you making your way back to your seat? I was like, oh, this bitch is something special. She is something special. Because I would have been like, get your damn hands off of me. Like, get your hands off of me. Don't be stroking my girl's hair and don't touch me with this drama that you're doing. So, yeah. And Amir defending her, please, both of y'all get the hell up out of there. Both of y'all. I'll take Natalie over Silas or whatever his name is. You may have a point, but I don't know. I think Natalie, she enjoyed that a little bit too much for me. She enjoyed it. Like to me, what you see with Silas, to me, that's what you get. That's who he is. Natalie, to me, is just truly just trying to stir up the drama a little bit too much. So I don't know. If I had to take Natalie over Silas, Whew, that's hard because I talked about Silas like a dog last season. I couldn't stand that man. But I may have to choose Silas because maybe he has learned his lesson. And at the end of the day, Jasmine is still married to that man. And now she has a kid with him. So maybe he has changed. But I'm just tired of the entitlement and people feel like they could say anything they can without any consequences. That's not real life. I don't miss Silas. Like I don't either. I really don't. But okay, so let's take a vote. Shayla says she would choose Natalie over Silas. Teef, would you choose Natalie over Silas? Would you? Because I'm curious to know. I think I'll take Silas. I think I really would, especially now because he's gonna be on his best behavior because we chewed him up the first season. And I ain't have to see no one assume the position this season too. So yeah, so definitely, but I was truly disgusted. They played a very dangerous game. They played a very dangerous game this episode. I didn't like it because we know it only takes something very small to ruin someone's reputation, to ruin someone's career. We know it don't take much, especially when you're a minority. It don't take much, you know? At least Natalie's at least cute. I'll take nasty Nat. Nasty Nat. Well, then there it is. So with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching, doing a live today. I had to get it out because I was really disturbed. And if I was Nick's, whether mom, big sister, whatever the case may be, I would be like, them heifers is dangerous. Like, you have to be very, if you're going to still deal with this, you're going to have to be very cautious because this is going to be beyond Tasia. Because at the end of the day, Tasia knows her man. But when you're dealing with reputations, that man has, I guess, I think a corporate career. Like you gotta do things better. You have to. So I don't know anybody who's not side-eyeing those girls. But if you disagree with me, by all means, you can be respectful and let me know in the comment section. What do you think about the situation? So with that being said, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Toodles.